All right, ma'am?
I am as well. Please don't call me ma'am. First, I would just like to say,
please.
Sally Manzella, thank you for reminding me. I've lived in Rhode Island for many years, and I'm very active in a variety of groups in the community, and never has there been a meeting at the police station. So I'm not saying that you are being untruthful. I'm saying I just find it extremely peculiar because I feel that it's for your comfort and your nervousness about the loudness factor, perhaps, because I've worked with a lot of groups and this has never. I called the police station and I spoke to the chief's office and the commissioner's office, and I said, I had no idea there was an auditorium in here. I had no idea there were people could come in here and have a meeting. So, having said that, on some level, I have some compassion for you folks who work for National Grid, because it would be great if we could exhibit our displeasure and anger and frustration at them and the stockholders, the stakeholders, the shareholders, and not with you middle management people or whatever you are, consultants. What?
They get paid good money.
I know they get paid money, but I'm saying they're not getting paid the big money, okay? And those are the people that are making the decisions, because the people who live around your facility are acceptable collateral damage, right? I mean, I'm sorry, I have to, I know it sounds like a gross generalization, but it's really kind of borne out. The decisions that are made by fossil fuel energy companies are not made clearly for the benefit of the people who live in the community. They are for a corporation's benefit and for money. It really had nothing to do with energy, it has to do with money. And as a result, I think, Allen's Avenue at this point is one of the most frightening waterfront city welcoming spots I've ever seen in my life. I can't believe how toxic it is, and certainly someone made reference to the fact it used to smell. It smells like hell right now. And the fact that you would want to sort of, in some way, take advantage of that, it's like, well, it's already gone to shit anyway. We might as well continue and put the LNG thing in there. And you made reference to something that I think is due to a lack of awareness that's not intentional, that has to do with personal and corporate privilege, which is, you made reference to the fact that the trucks don't go through the neighborhoods. You're already in a neighborhood. You don't get that. People live close by. People work there. People are patients in the hospital. You're in a very precarious location, a dangerous location. And it seems as if those facts and all of the issues raised here this evening by people who have a stake that's not related to money, that's way down the list of your bosses in terms of anything to pay attention to. And I'm painting with a broad brush when I talk about fossil fuel companies, but we see that all across the country. People don't matter. They do not matter at all. And that is something I want you to go home and think about. I'm not suggesting necessarily that you quit your job, but that you understand, and the questions about where you live and everything are not meant to solicit private information. It's just a matter of establishing the difference, perhaps, between your everyday life and you work in a place on Allen's Avenue, wherever your office is, and then you go home to a community that doesn't look like Allen's Avenue. That's what we're doing here, to hope that you will, have some awareness about what this argument is about, and have some awareness about this is why fossil fuel companies are failing right now. You can see the Burrillville plant is now postponing for a year. They'll never open. It'll never happen. You'll never get your LNG facility. Pipeline expansions are dying because somewhere along the line, people have been meeting like this, taking their kids with them, missing other things they have to do, worrying about how they're going to get here because they give a shit for themselves and their neighbors, and they realize they're up against a huge corporation. But do not make the mistake of discounting the power of people who will come out every time you do this, who will force, who will call DEM and do everything they can to leverage their compassion and their concern against corporate privilege. Thank you.